Hey, what's up? Welcome to Keeping 100 Philippines. The video I've decided to do today is, should you wait until retirement before moving abroad, like to Southeast Asia? Or should you bite the bullet and not wait and just move abroad as quick as you can and hope for the best? I think it's the best way to do it is to wait for retirement. Why? Because when you are too young to retire and you are going to quit your job, quit your career, and then move abroad and hope for the best, most times it doesn't work. Now, everyone's different, obviously, and it's all about perspective. Like, if you can actually retire young and early, that's a different story. If you can retire at age 40 or 45, but can actually retire, like you have enough money to retire, well, that's a totally different story. That's not what I'm talking about. That's fantastic. Good for you. But if you cannot actually retire, say at age 35 or 40 or 45, then you're not retiring per se. You're just becoming unemployed. You're not retiring because you've still got to work. You've still got to make money. You still need to hustle. And unfortunately, we've seen examples of people who have gone to places like the Philippines or Bali or other places in Southeast Asia before they could retire. They're hoping to bridge the gap, and they've screwed the pooch. And they've been completely broke. And next thing you know, they're on the first plane back home to their country looking for another job. Way safer to wait till retirement. Now, if you want to take a risk, okay. But it is a risk. That's kind of what I'm saying. That's kind of the point of the video. It's a risk. And the riskier, the younger you are, the riskier it will be. And if you don't have any savings, and if you don't have a passive income stream, it's extremely risky. If you want to anyone who wants to retire young needs to have a passive income stream, and they need to have like rental properties, or they need to have a windfall, or they need to have been so good with their money over the years. Then you can retire. Yeah, absolutely. But passive income is what it's all about. And looking for a job in Southeast Asia, it ain't happening. Like, people don't go to those countries to look for work. They leave those countries to look for work. Look at the Philippines, for example. Look at the OFWs. Wait for retirement. Don't screw yourself over. And then a lot of these guys that are going there unemployed, they're screwing their own pensions, because then when it's time to collect their pensions, they don't get much. So just wait for retirement and get your full pension. No brainer, in my opinion. Of course, nowadays, remote work is a possibility. If you can get a fully remote job, and then you can live abroad and get, hopefully like a Western salary, and then live abroad in a place like Philippines, and then you're kind of laughing. Unfortunately, it's not usually that simple. For a lot of people, their companies require them to go into this office in this hybrid model that you see here. Another thing is about remote working is it's almost like self-outsourcing. And why would a Western company pay a Western salary to people living in the Philippines, which is a country well known for Western companies that go there and outsource? It doesn't make any sense. It makes way more sense to pay the Filipinos who are willing to do that job for cents on the dollar. And that's what companies want to do, to save money. And this thing too, eliminating degree requirements, means that it's a race to the bottom. That's what companies want, the lowest wage costs, always. A new survey about content creators. Now, this is the other way a lot of people want to do when they move to the Philippines or other places such as Philippines. They want to become a YouTuber or an Instagrammer, but for the vast majority of people, it just doesn't really work. Like, for some people, yes, of course it works. There are vloggers and YouTubers that can survive off their YouTube income in the Philippines, absolutely. But the vast majority don't. And so you don't rely on it. Just you can try it, but don't rely on it. That's what I'm saying. Another thing about digital nomads is the gentrification. I mentioned that in a previous video. Gentrification is where all these Westerners with Western wealth, Western salaries in many cases, they bring their money, they have a passive income maybe, money made in the West, spent in a lower cost nation, causes gentrification.
And this doesn't help all the locals. It helps the business owners. It helps the people at the top, helps the governments, helps the politicians, but it doesn't help the average person. Not that much. In fact, in many cases, it can hurt the average person, because when they get priced out of their own place, then they're pissed off and they're not happy about it. It's not a good situation. Also, with remote work, it will get more competitive because, like I said, these companies are going to be outsourcing the remote work, outsourcing the jobs to cheaper places. So they don't have to pay a Western salary to someone to live in a cheap place, because then the company's kind of getting screwed when you think about it that way, right? The company's getting screwed when they can pay someone in that country cents on the dollar. So obviously in the West, you're going to have your best opportunities to make money, and some people are just going to have to stay put in the West until retirement. That's kind of what I'm saying.
You know, you can even maybe retire early. So wait for retirement before moving abroad. Work where you can make the money and then save money and maybe retire young. Here's an example of a vlogger who has made it big. See, some vloggers can make it big, but don't expect that everyone's going to be like this guy. This guy has millions of subscribers and he still makes good money, although his channel is sort of going down. And this is the trajectory of a lot of these channels. They grow and they grow and they grow and they hit the plateau and then they just kind of like stagnate, and they sometimes even go down. And there's been vloggers in the Philippines who have quit YouTube even after amassing millions of views over the years, because it's just kind of like stagnant. It's just kind of like dying. I think Southeast Asia, the Philippines, places like that are going to be big for retirement destinations. Central America, South America, parts of Europe, because people aren't saving enough for retirement. So when they actually do retire, they do hit retirement age, they can retire abroad. I think that's a great idea. I think there's nothing wrong with that. But I think retiring early when you're not ready and you don't have enough money is a huge mistake. It's a terrible mistake that a lot of people make. And again, I'm not saying that some people can't have a passive income stream and have a remote job and do well, of course. But for a lot of people, they have this idea that they're going to move abroad and everything's just going to fall into place. You need to have savings. You need to have a passive income, or else just wait for retirement, or else you're going to end up like these people and just be begging in Asia because they are completely flat broke. So to sum it up, I think it's best to wait for retirement. Everyone's different. Everyone's situation is different. But why would you want to go abroad and then have to hustle and have to be stressed out about money and have to have the same issues you have in your own country? The rat race is wherever you need to make money. It's not just totally dependent on where you are. It could be anywhere. If you're hustling, having to try and make money in the Philippines, that's like the rat race. It's stressful, and it will not mean that you're going to have a very fun time.
And one more thing that we have to think about is that with the popularity of places like the Philippines and Southeast Asia, so many Westerners, so many foreigners go in there. These places are going to get very picky. They don't want broke people. They want money. They want people to bring money. These places already have large populations. They don't need more people. So they can get quite picky in who they let in. And I think we're going to see visas reflecting that in the future. They don't want cheap Charlies. They don't want broke-ass Westerners and foreigners. If you want a visa there, you're going to need to show you got some money, including a retirement visa or any other long stay visa. You need money in the bank. So I really think we're going to see that in the near future in the Philippines too. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.